Hi guys! Here is our notes on the basics of three-dimensional shapes. We've only been working on two-dimensional shapes, but we are ready to move on to three-dimensional. So open your toolkit to page 86, and we will go ahead and get started. So on page 86, they talk about the basics of two-dimensional and three-dimensional shapes. Two-dimensional shapes are called polygons. So a polygon is a two-dimensional closed figure made of straight line segments connected end to end. So what that means is every side has to be a straight line. They have to all be connected, and they can only be connected at the ends. That means a star is not a polygon, a circle is not a polygon, unless the star is just drawn the outside. But the way we normally draw a star, it is not a polygon. So these are all of the normal polygons that we talk about: triangles, hexagons, quadrilaterals, pentagons, septagons, octagons. We don't normally talk about nonagons and decagons, but those are 9 and 10-sided figures. That's not our focus today. We've already been working on finding areas of those. Our focus today is that we are moving on to our three-dimensional shapes. So if a three-dimensional figure is completely bounded by polygons, that means every side is a polygon, then it is called a polyhedron. So instead of it being a polygon, three-dimensional shapes are polyhedrons. In polyhedrons, we don't just talk about the sides of them. We talk about the faces. The faces are the flat sides. The edges are where two sides meet. So that line that is formed right there is called an edge. And then we also oftentimes refer to the vertex. The vertex is the corner. So this corner right here, that is called a vertex. So the three parts of a polyhedron that we refer to are a face, the faces, the vertex, and the edge. In this class, in 7th grade, we really only focus on two types of polyhedrons. The two types of polyhedrons are the prisms and the pyramids. The difference between the two is the shapes of their sides and the number of bases they have. So we're going to talk about what that means. So we have the prisms and the pyramids. Those are the two most important names. So on a prism, the important thing, they always have two congruent bases, two congruent parallel bases. That means like the top and bottom. The rest of the sides, we call those lateral faces. So the other faces are called lateral faces. Our parallelograms, generally for the ones we're talking about, they will all be rectangles. So some examples are a triangular prism and a pentagonal prism or a pentagonal prism. Notice they have a top and a bottom that are parallel, and then the sides are all rectangles. That's what makes it a prism. On the other hand, a pyramid is a three-dimensional figure that only has one base, and that one base is a polygon. Then the lateral faces are formed by connecting each vertex to a single point. And when that happens, all the lateral faces end up being triangles. So lateral faces are triangles. All of this should have been review information. You've heard all of this before, I'm sure of that. So we're going to move on to something a little bit different. that hopefully you've seen before. I think you have. And that we're going to glue in on page 80. So you might have seen it. It was attached to the assignment in classroom. If you're not able to print it, that's okay. You can just keep it, save it to your Google Drive, and you can refer to it whenever you would like. So glue it in on page 80 if you were able to print it. And just a reminder of some of the names of the regular polyhedrons that we'll see. Square prism, rectangular prism. We don't do cylinders in 7th grade. You will do a lot of those in 8th grade. Triangular prism, rectangular prism, and again that pentagonal prism. Then down here, they took some of those shapes and they unfolded them. When they unfold them, we call that the net. That's going to be a really important thing as we're moving into finding the surface area. So I gave you these as examples of nets, and I'm going to show you a few figures and what happens when we unfold them. If we were at school right now, you would have the opportunity to hold these, and I'm sorry that you can't. There's a bunch of websites online where you can take them and take them apart, and I'll try and find some links for those and post them for you. So I'm taking out the inside so you can see this here has triangles on either side. The sides are all rectangle, those lateral faces. So this would be a triangular prism. When I unfold it, the two parallel bases fold out to the sides, and I unfold the other pieces. So we have 3 rectangles and the 2 triangles that form the top and the bottom. Just like this one here. If this had been a pyramid, the pyramid version of it, notice there aren't any rectangles. It's a whole bunch of triangles. So when I take it, I unfold those sides, those lateral faces. Remember, they were all triangles, and our base was also a triangle. I'll show you one more. So the last one I'm going to show you is another pyramid. This one, notice we have 4 triangles on the top. Looks similar to something you've studied in your social studies class. The base is a square. So this one is a square pyramid. They put this together a little bit differently than I normally do. So they have all the sides attached and then the square base. If I were to draw a square pyramid, I would draw it like this. I draw my square base and a triangle coming off of each side. So you might want to add that in there. That is a square pyramid. Okay, I hope you're all doing well. Been thinking about you. If you have any questions, please just email me or comment on the assignment in classroom and I will get back to you. Okay, take care.